Job 24527. This is the Sultan RV campsite. This is revision number 2. Revision number 2 is a lot more added asphalt, and it is to pave their RV pads on the property. So there's 160 RV pads that we need to put asphalt on. This is zoomed out, but right now the original contract bid is to pave all the roads. All the roads are in red. All the turquoise that you see, those are all the RV pads, 160 of them. Here's a blown up version so you can see, every RV pad has a site number. Like I said, there's 160 RV pads. All of these, I believe, are paver passes. They'll be at least 9 feet wide. You've got these little areas where the picnic tables sit, I believe, those little spots. I think we might be able to do that with maybe the Pathmaster. I didn't do an exact measurement on that, so I'm not quite sure if we can run the paver on that as well and just do everything with the paver, but it looks like a majority of it we can. Okay, the depth on these pads is 4 inches. The customer wants us to do it in 2 different lifts. He wants to have 2 inches of asphalt put down towards the beginning of the project, and then later on, which potentially could be 2021, he wants to put the final 2 inches down on these RV pads. The total square footage for all of the RV pads, for all 160 of them, is 204,465 square feet. So this has to be at 4 inches. So we're looking at approximately 5,112 tons of asphalt just to do the RV pads. Okay. The average size of each RV pad is roughly 1,278 square feet. You've got some of these that are around 1,200 square feet. You got some that are 1,400 square feet. There might be some that are around 1,100 square feet, but the average for all 160 is 1,278 square feet. The total square footage, 204,465 square feet. 4-inch depth equals 5,112 tons. So now we got to use our rules of thumb and see how much we can get done at a time. There's 3 phases on this project, and right now we've got it broken up into 3 phases to do the roadway. If we have to break the RV pads up into phases based on how they drew the boundary lines on the map, then that would mean in phase 1 we would be doing 42 RV pads. Phase 2, we'd be doing 58 RV pads, and in phase 3, we would be doing 60. I'm just making that note right now in this video in case the customer comes back to me later next week and says, I need you to break this up into 3 phases. One other special note to know on this is that we are not doing the grading. I spoke to Rusty, who is the owner of this property, because we're going to go direct with the owner, not with Ponderosa Pacific. So I'll end up changing the company information once Rusty starts to look at the bids and starts approving it. But for now, I've been talking to Rusty, and Rusty said he agreed with me that they should put down probably 1 inch to 2 inches of rock and compact it in all the different RV spots before we do any paving. I asked for the same thing on all the roadways as well. Okay, so revision 2 is to add all this asphalt for all these RV pads, and we're going to have to do it in 2 separate lifts, 2 inches in the first lift, 2 inches in the final lift. Any other questions, let me know.